Yeah, I'm getting stronger.
So I'm excited to be able to partner with you. For real. I love this. I love this.
So we can get stronger.
Become aware of your thoughts. To be a fit individual, you have to become aware of what you're thinking on a daily basis.
It's so weird. It sounds
Right.
weird.
It sounds crazy, but
Makes me really happy to hear that. Keep strengthening. Welcome to Strong Home, where we're focused on strengthening the family unit. I'm Melissa, and this is Jeff, and we are celebrating mothers all month long. Woo! Thank you. I'm really happy that we actually have a time where we're able to focus on celebrating moms, because it is one of the most difficult jobs, and of course I'm a little biased, but is, in my opinion, one of the most difficult jobs that any human can have, because it's not just one job, it's like every job connected together. But I never actually thought about the fact that on Mother's Day, it's a commercialized holiday, but why the heck does it even really actually exist? Like, I don't know if it exists for me, or if it exists for you, or for our kids. Like, is it for them to celebrate? Is it for me to have a minute? Like, what does that look like? What do you think it is?
yeah, I mean, I have a similar question because I was just pondering, like, are we celebrating the fact that you have a child as a woman, you have now become a mother, or are we celebrating the fact that you're a mother and all of the things that go and come along with being a mother? So what is it, just the fact that you had a child?
I literally don't, I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like we just kind of like jumped on board with this commercialized holiday.
Right.
And, you know, it's become this thing because of all of the Mother's Days that I've ever celebrated, which has been years and years of those. I've never really sat back and thought, like, what exactly is it that I need or that I want, or what is it supposed to look like? But we just kind of tend to go.
Okay, so right there. So as a mom, how do you want to be celebrated? Like, what does that even look like?
That's a great question. I love the idea of being able to spend time with my kids and be celebrated, but I also love the idea of, like, give me my moment, because I am with you guys every day, all of my life, right? The kids would never, we don't get usually that break. And so if I'm really being transparent, I would love for a moment of, like, you know, we're going to take you someplace, we're going to do something, but more so heartfelt, not just let's go out to eat. We do that all the time. Let's go see a movie. We do that all the time. Like, that's not special.
Okay, so Mother's Day to you is not just your husband doing something for you, but the husband and your kids doing something collectively that they have thought of on their own, or that you have planted the seed for them to know to do this thing?
Maybe a little bit of both. Okay, so I would say this. It would be amazing if we could have like a Mother's Day weekend. Okay. Because then I can get Friday, let's say I'm making this time frame up, doesn't have to look like this, but then I could get, let's say, a Friday, you know, the kids take me out, we go someplace, we spend some time together, maybe we go eat somewhere, but it's something heartfelt. It's not just regular, like, we're just gonna go eat. Something that is like, I'm gonna have a conversation, I'm gonna share some things with you, I'm gonna tell you why I appreciate you, I'm gonna give you a card that has, you know, heartfelt words in it. It's not just like, I pay for a dinner for you and that's it. And the next day, on Saturday, leave me alone. Send me away. Give me my massage, get me, like, let me have a minute where I don't have to be a mom that day.
Okay, so this is you specifically.
Yeah, it's
right.
me. I can't speak for everyone, but
Right.
I think I'm speaking for some.
Let's kind of generalize it for a second, and then we'll come back specific. Okay. So a Mother's Day weekend would be the thing that you would suggest for the world.
I mean, I think.
What about the guys that can't afford that?
Okay, can we get creative? This is the thing, right? You guys always do something that is just like typical, right? And I'm not saying this for every guy. Hold on. I'm not saying this for every guy. But most of the time, you rely on flowers and chocolate and a dinner or a brunch. That's in my opinion. That's like, I feel like if we polled a bunch of women, or polled women and said, what did you get for Mother's Day? What did you do for Mother's Day? That's what it would be. If you polled men and said, what do you think that, you know, you're going to do for Mother's Day? That's what they would say that they would do. And it's just the typical go-to, easy, no thought to it. You know, they spend a little bit of money. I mean, you can pick up from the grocery store a $10 bunch of roses or whatever. I'm a little more difficult because I hate flowers, and you know that. So you have to get a little more creative. But I think that's also a part of why I hate flowers, because it's so typical. There's no thought.
Okay, what you're saying sounds like men would have to be trained to do that.
So can we train them?
Yeah, because we don't think like you guys, right? So there has to be some grace to understand that men don't think like you. We're not thinking. So first of all, the average guy makes under $100,000 a year, right? He has to work 5-6 days a week, right? And so to think about all the work that he has to do, and then to figure out how to create a weekend getaway with planning with the kids, and it sounds like an amazing idea, but there has to be some grace and understanding. And I think mothers and fathers have to work together to get to the point where, okay, a father really understands and the kids really understand this is what's going to make mom or the mother happy, right? Because it seems like it's become so commercial that it's all about what can you do for me on that day, right? As opposed to what you're saying about this heartfelt stuff.
But that's like every commercial. That's why I hate Valentine's Day. Like it's become so commercialized where you take the focus away from what it really should be, which is the person and celebrating the love or celebrating the father or celebrating the mother. That's my point. So if there is a way, and again, I'm not speaking for everyone because there are so many women that will say like, speak for yourself. I want my flowers. Send me my flowers.
Okay. What's the difference between what family, kids, husband would do on Mother's Day and what they would do for the mother's birthday?
That's a great question. So this is why I'm saying when you're celebrating mothers specifically, first of all, can we get 2 days? Like, why does it have to be something different? You could give me 2 days where one of the days we're going to go out to eat and you're going to say something sweet and nice that I really can appreciate, right? And do the same thing for my birthday. I'm cool with that.
Okay, so
two times out of the whole year. You're
a little different, but let's stay on this topic about if a guy came home with a handwritten card, right? A handwritten card that he took time to put his thoughts into it and said, I'm going to take you or surprise you. He doesn't even tell you. He has a handwritten card. He comes and picks you up and takes you to a picnic. That would suffice as opposed to going to the fancy restaurant and having the card that came from Hallmark and having the candy and the balloons and all.
I'm just going to say, you got to know the man that you married or your financial situation. If you know that you're not in a place where you can...
No, say he has the finances.
To do those things.
He has the finances to take you away for 2 days, just like you said. But you also said you want heartfelt.
Yeah.
So taking you to the Ritz-Carlton, but taking you to a park, which one is heartfelt?
What you put your heart into. Okay, so here's the thing. So when we go to the Ritz-Carlton, what happens? We go to the Ritz-Carlton, you put, are you with me? Do you come with me or are you sending me away?
It sounded like you said you wanted to be away.
Yeah, give me a day.
So dinner with the kids and the husband on Friday. Saturday you check into the Ritz-Carlton, right? And it's at your, whatever you want to do.
That's what I'm asking you. That's where the heartfelt part comes in.
That's heartfelt.
You're just going to, no, I'm saying, you're just going to throw me in a hotel and be like, have fun. Or is it like, this is what I've planned for you? Do I have like, someone is food provided or do I have to go figure out my own food? Did you leave me notes there? Is there like cute little things to find in the hotel room while I'm there? Do I have spa days set up? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And along the way, have you trained your guy to be able to know to do that?
Have I? Are you trained? Tell me, are you trained?
We're talking in real life now, right? I'm a little different, right? I would know to do some of those things. Sometimes there's a time factor that's involved of, man, I've been so busy, I've been caught up, and I haven't put the quality time into thinking of Mother's Day in that way. So that falls on me or the guy when he has the capability to do whatever he wants for you. But I want to stick to what you said because I don't think it's real.
Really?
I do not think that a guy could come home with a handwritten card, pick you up, drive you to the park, put a blanket out, and have some turkey sandwiches and some wine. And
I think that's freaking
and you
cute.
would be it would be cute, but you would be like, where's the rest? And I think the average woman would be like, get on Instagram, get on TikTok, and shame him.
Oh.
Men are being shamed all day, every day for going to the Cheesecake Factory.
That's true.
For going to, I just met you, I barely know you. Oh, you're a mother? I met you. I think you're beautiful. I want to get to know you better. You have a kid. You know what? I want to take you out for Mother's Day. We don't really know each other, but I do want to celebrate you on Mother's Day. You have a kid by somebody else, but I want to celebrate you. And that person, you've known them for 3 weeks. This person wants to take you out on Mother's Day and takes you to Cheesecake Factory. It's all over Instagram. I'm better than that. I'm bigger than that. Don't do me like that. And then you look down at her shoes, they ran over. You look at her weave, it's bent and to the left. And she telling me I can't take, you telling him he can't take you to Cheesecake Factory? You live on, did you see the thing on Instagram where the girl said this dude took her to some restaurant and in the background, she's sleeping on a pallet. It looked like a thin piece of bread. And she trying to tell this guy where he can take her. So the point I'm making is that I think a lot of guys would want to be more vulnerable and be willing to say, you know what, I want to get outside of my comfort zone. I want to take you to the beach, or I want to take you to the amusement park. When you get there, the first thing, not you, but the first thing most women would be like, girl, do you know where he took me for Mother's Day? He took me to Redondo Beach and we had some seafood. I don't think it would work.
Okay, maybe I'm just a different person because
Okay.
I do have some friends that do expect a little bit more. But I'm going to tell you, I feel like, I feel like some of the reason why they expect a little more is because they don't give a lot of themselves. They give money, they give stuff because that's what they know to do. So is it possible? So let's just find some middle ground. Is it possible to be able to find a middle ground where the men are learning how to love by giving of themselves and also how to invest with their finances? Can we do both?
Okay,
or is it one or the other?
I think we do need to work on bridging the gap and doing exactly what you said. The challenge for men are judged in society and in relationships, and we even do it to ourselves on what we're able to do. Right? We're not just allowed to be, right? You hear it all the time. Honeydew, remember that? I don't even know if they use that anymore, but honeydew.
Your honeydew list.
Yeah, your honeydew list. As soon as he gets home from work, honeydew this, right? Even in society today, what you see on social media is get my nails done, get me a bag, get me some shoes, fly me out. All the man is doing is that. Get this done for me. If you don't get this done for me, you are not at the standard of what a man is. So men have been conditioned. It's not all of women's fault or society's fault, but we've been conditioned by society, and then we've taken it upon ourselves to believe that we find our value in what we do for other people. And so if we're not doing for other people, we're not masculine. We're not men. It's not that life is fair, by no means. We have to do a mind shift, right? The mindset has to change, that it's not just about what a man can do for me that makes him a man. Allow us to be. Very seldom have I ever seen a man that is just allowed to be.
Be what?
Just be anything. Be a simple person. Make a mistake. Not be able to pay a bill. Not be able to answer every question. Not be able to solve every problem. A man has been built, especially black men have been built, that if you don't do this, you are nothing in society. We are marginalized. We are dehumanized. We are treated like nothing if we don't have money. If we can't buy a bag, take you on a trip. If I can't take you to a 5-star restaurant, I'm nothing. It's not fair to men.
Do you think any men put that on themselves ever?
Hold on. I'm saying that ultimately it's every man's responsibility to stand up and understand who they are first and foremost. No one can make you be anything. They can influence you and they can influence us. So I'm not putting the blame on women at all. I'm saying it's part of it. It's not just one thing. Women do it, society do it, and then we do it to ourselves. So yes, there's a combination of things.
For real, because I'm hearing you, and I do see I have people in my life that are like that, where they do feel like if you can't provide those things, or if the husband can't provide those things, the boyfriend, they're not like, why am I with you? But I'm not that way. I'm not even going to ask you if I'm that way, because I know that I'm not that way. So I don't put that on you to say
I know
if you don't buy me.
we're talking about us also, but we're also talking about the general public. So,
Right.
yeah. So some of the things that apply to us, it doesn't apply to the average person. Okay, we're blessed, right? If you think about the amount of money that it takes for us to have a basic lifestyle, as opposed to doing all the other things that we want to do in life, the average man is between 14 and 17% of men that make over $100,000 a year.
See, we're going back to money again.
But you can't take that out of the equation, because in order to live a quality life, you have to have time, right? And men are trading time for money.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so it's either, right now in society, it's one or two things. Either you want me home all day, every day, and we don't have money, or you want me out making money and you don't have me all day, every day. It cannot be both ways when you're building. Once you get past a certain threshold, when you're able to make more than $1 million a year and beyond, now I have bought back my time, and the average man has bought back his time, right? That is the resource that you're talking about. So for me to be able to say I'm a plumber, a mechanic, right? Even if I'm a coder, I am coding all day, right? So to shift my mind in that from 8 to 10 hours worth of work to then say, I'm going to go plan something, right? That would be great. What we have to do is understand that when whether it's new or old relationship, we have to have some grace and mercy to understand that, okay, when dad is not home, where is he? And all men aren't good. We know that. But for the men that are good, that are doing what they say they are doing, and where they are, when they say they're going to be somewhere, they're there, whether that's at work, second job, ministry, whatever it may be, right? When that person gets home, he's got to decompress in a way, right? He's worked hard all day, a lot of times back-breaking labor, right? That women can't do. Not saying that women aren't able to do a lot of things that men are, but a lot of men are working very labor-intensive jobs, right? So when a guy gets home, now he has to deal with the kids, he has to deal with the wife, but he hasn't even had a chance to decompress, let alone start thinking about, how do I please my wife on Mother's Day, right? So he goes to the go-to, right? And the average guy hasn't been cultivated to be able to say, okay, I'm super romantic. I write poetry. I'm going to think of all these extravagant things that are outside of purchasing, because society says a man has to do. In order to be classified as a man, you have to be over 6 feet tall. You have to be physically fit. You have to have over $500,000 a year. You have to be able to be a great lover. You have to be a great communicator. You have to be a problem solver. There's all these things that are put on men, and now we have to be everything for the woman, which it is our responsibility to do that. So I don't want to take away from the conversation of Mother's Day.
I mean, I'm just saying it's one day. It's one day.
But
Just
Mother's
one day.
But we were talking before and saying, I don't truly believe that Mother's Day should be one day. I think it's a 365 situation, right? And that one specific day is where we highlight, but it should be a consistent.
It should be. I'm thankful that the calendar does give us one day, because at least for the people that do not have 365 or are not being celebrated or acknowledged, at least they know they have something to look forward to on the calendar, that someone's going to care about them on Mother's Day.
Okay, so back to one thing that we were talking earlier. Are we celebrating the fact that you're just a mother, or are we celebrating all the accomplishments and all the things that you do as a mother?
Give it all to me. Give it to me, all of it. In one, like, if I'm just gonna get one day out of the year, give it to me from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, because it's just one day. And I think that I'm thankful, even for us. Thank you, God, that we are blessed to not necessarily be struggling financially, where we can't provide some type of financial gift, right? Something that you're giving to acknowledge.
Okay, so is Mother's Day conditional? In order for the mother to be happy, it's based on these conditions that you supply whatever the thing is.
I personally, and again, can't speak for everyone, I think it's a heartfelt thing. I think it's being acknowledged. I think that the idea of receiving a gift, especially an expensive gift, is to show like I put the effort and the time to make the money. That money is valuable to me. I'm going to spend it on you. That's how I'm showing you that you're valued. But me personally, I don't want just that. Please don't just get me something that, especially something that's just expensive. To me, that's the easiest way
I know,
out.
but it may not be, because I was raised by my grandfather that where a man spends his money, that's where his heart is. So that was ingrained in me. So whether it's $1 that I spend on you or $100,000 that I spend on you, it comes from my heart, right? Because it's money that could go to me. It's money that could go to other things. I like nice shoes. I like nice clothes. I like all the nice things in life. So when I am putting money into something, it means that I care enough to do that, because it could go somewhere else, especially when it's different when you have millions and millions of dollars and you only spend $1,000 on somebody. It's different when you only have $10,000 and you spend $1,000 on somebody. That's part of what sometimes gets lost in translation when a man who works 40, 60, 70, 80 hours a week and is not, by society standards, rich or wealthy, right? He may be wealthy in his home, he may, many different things like that, but, or spiritually or emotionally. But if he's not able to buy a Birkin bag, or if he's not able to buy these expensive, or take you on a trip, or to that man, being able to spend whatever he had and share his wealth with you, whether that's $100 or $1,000, look at what it came from. How much money did he have in savings? Or how much money did he have invested, right? That's where some of the, I think, misunderstanding of Mother's Day and gifts and, so I'm with you when it comes to the heartfelt, and we definitely can do better.
So can we train both? Since you're saying it has to be
I think it needs
trained,
to be training.
Can we train that we're training our boys from a young age to give of themselves, to express themselves, to say what they think? Like I tell my kids this all the time, that if you don't have money, then give appreciation. If you don't have money, give appreciation. I feel like that's really important because, money shows that you value something or someone. You vote with your money. You are giving that to a person. However, appreciation sometimes can do the job just by saying, like, here's something I acknowledge about you. This is what I see. I actually see you. And here is how I want to express to you that I appreciate you.
Okay, what do you think of this idea? Because you're making some great points about the heartfelt and doing other things than just voting with your money, right? What if it doesn't have to be today, but before Mother's Day, we have a challenge and look at challenge men and challenge women. Challenge men to be more heartfelt and, thought-provocative into what type of gifts or what type of things they can do that are not just from a monetary standpoint, where you put some thought and some energy into it. And then women, let's see how they accept that, right? So instead of guys just posting this Mother's Day, they bought their wife a car, they bought her a new Birkin bag or some red bottoms or whatever the case may be. That can be included, but let's challenge people to say, oh, you did something out of the norm on Mother's Day, and I would like to see the response that men get for doing the out of the norm thing. How does that sound?
So it's one of those things where they'll like turn the phone towards the mom and the mom's not knowing that they're being filmed, that type of thing, and see what that response is.
It could be
like the wife's point of view, or the man's point of view, my point of view of watching me give a handwritten note that's heartfelt to, or like I colored something with Crayola crayons, but it was heartfelt and I gave it to my wife for Mother's Day and here's her response.
Right, and see how many smiles.
And you're thinking that the women are going to be like, what the heck is this trash?
I'm not saying all women. I just would like to see the natural response of, my mom did this to me once, right? For Christmas. I gave her a Christmas list of things that I wanted, right? And it was one of the main things that I wanted. The night before, she would always let me open one gift. So we have a tradition, you can open one gift. So I opened one gift, great, boom. Wake up the next day, go through all my gifts, and the main thing that I wanted wasn't in there, right? And you could see the joy and the happy as I'm opening gifts because I'm just expecting
the big one.
The other gift is going to be there. And when I got through all the gifts, it wasn't there. There was like, my whole countenance changed, a smile went off my face. I was still happy for what I got, but the joy, let's say the joy had left, and I just got up, went and walked in my room like the other 20 gifts didn't matter. And she let me sulk. So if she would have put that on camera, it would have gone from elation, joy, to sort of sadness, right? And then she made me wait 2 hours before she came and brought me the main gift that I wanted. And then the joy came back, right? So I would love to see how moms or mothers will react to getting these heartfelt, loving expressions, and then not get exactly what they thought they deserved.
I actually love that idea. Okay, let's figure this out, guys. So we need to actually figure out how we're about to create this and make this a challenge. I don't know, was y'all hashtag strong home Mother's Day?
You about to get some comments about what are you talking about? I don't care about the
Oh, I already know. Yeah. I already know. I saw this. An influencer just did this, and it said she was looking at it, and it said she was looking at the phone, and it says mothers don't want Mother's Day for. I mean, mothers don't want flowers for Mother's Day. And she was like, speak for yourself. Yes, I do. Like, she was all mad. I'm like, I don't want flowers for Mother's Day. But I do understand that some women do want flowers. My intention is not to say, guys, you get off the hook. You don't have to buy flowers anymore. I'm just saying, get a little more creative. If you don't have the finances, at least you can give of yourself. If you do have the finances, just add that to sweeten the pot, but still give of yourself. Still speak love and still be able to share the things, because thank you for the gift that you're giving me to tell at the end of the year or whatever, here, happy Mother's Day to you. But what about the other 364 days out of the year that I was the most amazing mom I could be, or the times I was like, encourage me.
Okay. So I want to also make sure we get this point out, because it's still not clear to me. On Mother's Day, for mothers to be happy, it's conditional. That based on what I want, what I desire, if I do not get those things, it's not a good Mother's Day. If the man doesn't give you what he believes that he wants to give you from his heart, like, so say he wants to give you from his heart $500 in an envelope with a card, that's not good enough.
I'm not saying it's not good enough. You keep saying, I'm not saying that.
So let's get to what I'm asking. Is it conditional?
What does conditional mean? I don't understand. Is it conditional on what?
If the conditions don't meet what your expectations are, meaning you want a heartfelt card and you want the beach picnic and you want the weekend getaway, as opposed to me giving you $1,000 cash, right? And it says, here, go get the weekend getaway. On Tuesday, I have the day off. Let's go get beach, have lunch, a picnic at a beach. That wouldn't work. It's in the card.
I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I don't think it's conditional. I do think that every single mom has their own thing that they love and need and want. So it's really up to us. I'm going to take that responsibility on us. It's up to us to be able to actually share with our husbands or with our baby daddies or whoever that is that's celebrating us, what it is that would make me feel celebrated and make me feel loved and wanted. But if you guys don't get that, for whatever reason, we're not having those conversations with you, my suggestion would be to default to giving of yourself, being appreciative, and if you have some money, add that to it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's what I would think. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure what your thought process is. I do think that I love your concept and your idea for us to be able to challenge everyone to actually go out there and try to see if that works. What would happen, moms, if we did receive just something heartfelt and not something too expensive, but there was thought and effort that was put into that? And hashtag Mother's Day challenge. Let's do it.
And let me say it like this, right? Okay, so when you get married, we're using marriage as a foundation. When you get married, it's supposed to be for life, as long as you both live, right? So is there a growth process when it comes to Mother's Day gifts? Like year 1 versus year 5 versus year 10?
I don't know if there's like actual like segments that you have to stick to.
Well, I don't know what I'm saying, but if as long as it's heartfelt to you, that's what you're saying. So 1 year it can be the picnic with the handwritten card.
If you're struggling financially, yes.
Not even struggling, just heartfelt. Mm-hmm. He put his heart in it, like dance class, right? Say your guy doesn't dance, right? And he learns to go on every Monday night for an hour, he's taking dance classes so that he can learn how to dance. But that may take 6 months, 8 months. You don't know what he's doing on Monday nights, right? So that he can take you dancing on Mother's Day one day, right? Is that heartfelt?
Absolutely. Yes.
Does he have to tell, like, so when he says, I'm going to take you dancing tonight, right? And you're like, okay, thank you. Does he then have to inform you that in order to do these dance steps that he's doing at this Latin restaurant that he doesn't know how to do?
It's a great idea, yes.
Does he have to tell you that he took 9 months worth of?
I'm not saying he has to, but I do think that's a great idea. Just so you know, I cared about you so much that for the last 9 months I've been taking this just so that I could take you out this day. Yes, that definitely makes it a whole lot more.
It's not cheesy.
I don't think it's cheesy. I do think that there are some women out there that also do expect to have a certain valuable item that's presented to them in a form of a gift. I don't necessarily need that, but I know there are some women that do. I'm just encouraging the men to also add some thought to it. And Jeff gave some really great ideas, so you guys actually can take some of those. Beach picnic, depending on where you live. Obviously, if you're in Chicago, freezing to death, maybe not. But if you're,
Mother's Day is...
yeah, so depending on what your situation looks like and how nice it is, right? You could do that. You could do, what was the one you just said? Dance classes might be another option. Maybe we'll list a few of those.
You know what? I got one. You know, moms usually cook every dinner. They cook most of the time, majority of the time. Not saying that men don't cook and are great chefs, but a lot of times the mom is handling the meals. Let's do a heartfelt challenge to see how many women receive a handwritten card, a guy that prepares dinner, however he prepares it, because it may take him hours, it may take him much longer to prepare a dinner for his wife than it typically would her. So we got the heartfelt card, we got dinner, and I would love to get response the day after Mother's Day to see how many mothers really accepted the handwritten card and the dinner prepared by the husband.
Or anything that they do that's creative, whatever that looks like, and just see if it's heartfelt and what that looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all got your challenge. He got his challenge too. I'm gonna let you know how that turns out if he comes up with something creative, because you're not off the hook.
Okay.
But regardless, guys, keep strengthening. We're gonna do this together. Mothers, you are loved, you are celebrated, regardless of how it gets wrapped up and given to you.
Yeah.
Just know that you are supported, and I
love my mom. I had a wonderful, great mom, and still do. She supported me from day one. So.
And he loves me too. He's just not.
And I was coming, good gracious. You see, as soon as the hand was getting ready to go this way, and I have a beautiful, loving wife that has actually taught me how to be a better father by the way that she is such a magnificent example on a daily basis of a mother.
So you put that
so
in
you're much appreciated, and I learn from you every day on how to be a better parent from the way that you are such a tremendously giving and attentive. You're a very attentive mother.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I love you too.
Love you too.
Okay, guys, keep strengthening.
Stronger.